Literally every region has a water-type gym leader, except Gen 2. But that got me thinking, with so many water-type gym leaders, who would be the strongest out of all of them? Well, first off, every gym leader will be ranked based off of every team they can have in their gym. So for example, for leader Juan, we will be able to use his gym leader rematch team, but we won't be able to use his black and white world tournament team. But I will take into account that most of them are rematches. So in the overall view, it will deduct a few points. For the second rule, I will not be using Pokemon that leaders can't use inside their gym. For example, Wallace has a Ludicolo, but he has never used it inside of his gym. So we won't count that Pokemon. And last but not least, I will be going off in-game experience only, because I am not smart enough to calculate who's viable for VGC or not. Now that we've got that out the way, let's start off with Misty, Kanto's own water-type gym leader. Now, Misty is a tricky one, considering she's in the most games out of all of the gym leaders. She's in Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, both of their remakes, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. In most of these games, Misty's main team would mostly be Staryu and Starmie, both having Tackle and Water Gun, and Starmie also having Bubble Beam. She's the second gym leader in most of these, and considering you can get a Pikachu, Oddish, Bellsprout, and various other Pokemon before even getting to her, she's not too hard. But you also have post-game Gold and Silver Misty, who actually has a decent set of Pokemon. She has a Golduck, Quagsire, Lapras, and a Starmie, which is holding a Citrus Berry. With a pretty decent, if not quite good set of moves, this team is actually not half bad. Now, when you actually fight both her Gen 1 and Gen 2 versions, they're honestly not that difficult to fight, especially for her Gen 2 version, because by the time you get to her, you would most likely have a decent team above level 60, considering you have to go for a whole nother region just to get to her. So far, not that bad. Next up, we have Hoenn's gym leader, Wallace, being only in Ruby and Sapphire and their remakes. Wallace doesn't have the best team. His team also didn't change in Oras either, so this is all we have. And just a reminder, we can't use his champion team for obvious reasons. Wallace has a team of 5 Pokemon. Since he's the last gym of Hoenn, it makes sense. His team consists of Luvdisc, Celio, Seaking, Whiscash, and his ace, Milotic, with quite the mid moveset on most of them if you ask me. Now, even though the teams aren't different, the movesets are actually different for both versions, with Oras's being better by a landslide, with mons like Luvdisc gaining Draining Kiss, Whiscash gaining Zen Headbutt and Mudsport, which lowers electric type move damage by 50% for 5 turns, and Milotic gaining Hydro Pump and Disarming Voice. Wallace does in fact actually have a pretty good team. Now, with Wallace out of the way, let's talk about the guy that took over the gym when Wallace became champion, Juan. Now, Juan is a bit interesting because he actually keeps more than half of Wallace's Pokemon, only differences being Crawdon instead of Seaking, and his ace being Kingdra instead of Milotic. If you ask me, this team is a bit stronger than Wallace's for the sheer reason that Kingdra back in Gen 3 was pretty strong, so it could just sweep your Pokemon. It also has Double Team, which practically decreases your accuracy, and the move Rest to restore if he needs to. Oh yeah, just so you know, it's also holding a Chesto Berry, so it pretty much just gets a free heal. Oh, and I haven't even talked about the fact that you can rematch this guy 4 times, and on the 4th one, he gets another Pokemon. And yes, this rematch is still in his gym, so it counts. He pretty much gets a nuclear upgrade from what he had before, with him now having Politoed, Lapras, and Walrein. Oh, and his Crawdon also gained the move Rest and a Chesto Berry. Yeah, Juan is kind of insane, I'll be honest. Now, I will be deducting points, like I said, because you do need to fight him 4 times to even get to that team, and realistically, most people won't do that. But come on, this is just insane. Going on to the Sinnoh region, we have Crasher Wake. Now, I'm already gonna skip his Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum version because his BDSP version is literally the same, but better. He is either the 4th or 5th gym leader you come across, depending on the game you play, and he has quite the interesting team. He has a Gyarados, Quagsire, and his ace, Floatzel, all 3 having Hell items. Gyarados holding the Wide Lands, boosting his accuracy by 10%, which is a very interesting choice considering the only move that isn't 100% accurate is Ice Fang, and even that's 95% accurate, so it doesn't really matter that much. He also has Flail, Yeah, I don't know either, man. His Quagsire holds the Damp Rock, which makes rain last for 8 turns instead of 5. And he has the ability Damp, which completely shuts down any explosive move, like Self-Destruct and, Explosion. And of course, he has Rain Dance, and his Ace Float Soul holds the Citrus Berry, which heals 25% of the Pokemon's health once it's lost 50% of its health. With all in all a decent moveset and decent Pokemon, Wake is not easy, nor necessarily hard either. Unless you want to argue that the Platinum version is harder, then sure, but every time I've played Platinum, I would clear his gym without blacking out once. Oh yeah, he has a better team, by the way. Yeah, this is the reason I was taking his BDSP version instead of his earlier ones. If you rematch Wake in BDSP, he will have this team. Yeah, it's like if Wolfey made a VGC team out of just water Pokemon in BDSP. This whole team is just a collection of previous gym leaders' Pokemon, but amplified by slightly better moves and held items. And they are level 70! But yet again, this is a rematch. And honestly, I didn't even know this existed until I did this video. But regardless, it's just insane. It's really insane. Next up, we have Unova's Cress. And well, yeah, that's it. That's deadass all there is. A Lillipup and a Pampor. Oh, fuck. Just a reminder that this one isn't even a water type, and the other one sucks. And the only way you can fight him is if you pick Stepic. And guess what? If you pick Stepic, you can get a free Pensage in the same city. And that makes him easier already. I genuinely think he might be the worst one. No, matter of fact, he is the worst one. Now, Marlon, on the other hand, ain't that bad at all. He is the 8th, aka last gym leader you fight in Black and White 2. And he does have a decent team consisting of Caracosta, Wailord, and Jellicent, with Jellicent holding the Citrus Berry. All of them being pretty decent and bulky, but that's about it. I haven't heard anyone really complain about him, and from experience, you either A, have some insane Pokemon that him, B, you chip away at him, or C, he chips away at you. And most of the times, it's just a little bit of a longer fight that you most likely win. He also has another version of his team that adds Mantine, adds a Citrus Berry on Caracosta, and a bit of a higher level cap. But the only way you can get to this battle is to replay through the entire game again after beating it once, because this fight is locked behind the challenge mode, aka this game's version of New Game Plus. And I'm fairly sure a majority of people haven't done that, but he does have a decent bulky team, so I will have to at least give him that. The next gym leader is from the beloved Galar region, and she is the actually beloved Nessa. Now, Nessa is the second gym leader you fight in Sword and Shield, and honestly, this bro, I hate it. I genuinely despise this thing. Calm down, calm down. Now, Nessa has a team of free Pokemon: Goldeen, Aracuda, and Dreadnought. Honestly, the first two ain't much of a threat, because come on, it's Goldeen and the one guy no one remembers. But him, this guy is evil. I'm not even joking when I say I blacked out numerous times to this thing alone. And all because I chose Scorbunny. I hate him with everything in my goddamn soul. Okay. Realistically speaking, this isn't the hardest gym if you come a little prepared. You might black out once to her G-Max Dreadnought, but at this point in the game, you should already know every leader has a G-Max. And yes, I know it's only the second gym leader, but if the first gym leader pulls out this BS, then why wouldn't the rest? Past grievances aside, from what I understand, majority of people don't really find Nessa hard. Dreadnought can just be a little annoying, and that's it. So, all in all, she's quite easy to go against. And last but not least, we have Paldea's Kofu. Conventionally, he would be the 4th gym leader, but unless you're like me and might genuinely have something wrong going up there, it is possible to fight him earlier or later, since Scarlet and Violet does not stop you from going out of order. His team consists of Veluza, Wugtrio, and Terra Water Crabominable. That does, in fact, hit a little hard. But, I gotta be honest, he ain't that hard, guys. No, really. Scarlet and Violet is probably one of the easiest games to catch counters for him. Specifically because, yet again, you can go wherever, whenever, because the game doesn't restrict you. But he's not the easiest either. He's honestly one of the most perfect middle grounds when it comes to gym leaders. He does also have a rematch team, which adds Clawitzer and Pelipper, and all of his Pokemon now actually have a full set of moves. But this is yet again later into the game, and it honestly isn't that difficult of a fight considering if you even get to this point, your Pokemon are probably all level 70 plus at minimum, but still a decent team nonetheless. Okay, quick ad time. Today's video is sponsored by Gamersupps. Get some awesome waifu cups and caffeinated or non-caffeinated powdered drinks for 10% off using code THOMA for 10% off any order on the Gamersupps platform, or use my link in the description or in the comment section for the code to be applied immediately. Thanks to Gamersupps subs for sponsoring this video. Now that we know what all of the leaders are like, who is the strongest? Well, let's start off with who is not the strongest. Cress. I think this is very self-explanatory. He literally only has 2 Pokemon. One of them ain't even water, and you have to pick Tepic to even fight him. So he is in fact the easiest. Next we have Nessa in the low tier for similar reasons as Cress, but at least she has all water types and she also has free Pokemon plus a Gigantamax transformation. Still quite easy though. In the lower mid tier we have Kofu and Misty. Both of these trainers have pretty decent Pokemon, but both their first fights and rematches aren't really that hard. Marlon and Wallace on the other hand can be a bit more annoying, considering Marlon has a more bulky team and Wallace just has an all-around decent team to fight against you. And that leaves us to 2 gym leaders, and honestly I did not expect them to be here. Crasher Wake and Leader Juan. Now both of these guys have 2 core problems. Their strongest versions are very rare to come by. I guarantee you most people haven't rematched Juan 4 times to get to his best team, and not enough people have even played BDSP, let alone got through it completely to even rematch Wake. So that leaves it to their base teams, and honestly I think it's pretty straightforward from here. The strongest water type gym leader is in fact Gym Leader Juan. My reason is solely because of the way they fight. Crasher Wake pretty much fights like most kids that play Pokemon do. He presses the strong hitting moves and prays it works. Juan, in the other end, actually plays more strategically, utilizing moves like Double Team and Rain Dance, and Rest to heal his health back with his Chesto Berry. So in my opinion, Leader Juan is the strongest water type gym leader. Now obviously if we're talking solely based off of any team they could have, Crasher Wake would probably win. But we gotta be realistic. Most people don't do those fights. Now if you think I got it wrong, let me know in the comment section down below.
I got a dirty the money, yeah. I stack it up, it's not funny, yeah. 2 pounds and all that like money.